The average American spends over $6,000 a year managing chronic health conditions. Stomach pain, heartburn, persistent headaches, ringing in the ears, skin rashes, high blood pressure, swollen legs, recurring kidney issues. Here's what the research increasingly suggests. Many of these aren't separate, unrelated problems. They may share a common underlying driver, one that a growing body of science is pointing to as one of the most significant and most overlooked factors in long-term health costs. It's called chronic inflammation. And today we're going to break down what it is, what the evidence says causes it, and 5 specific research-backed interventions that may help address it. I'm the Wellness ROI. Let's look at the data. Before we get into the biology, let's look at the economics, because that's the lens this channel uses on every health topic. The global anti-inflammatory drug market was valued at over $106 billion in 2023. That number is projected to grow. Prescription anti-inflammatory medications, including NSAIDs and corticosteroids, represent some of the most prescribed and highest revenue drug categories in medicine. This is worth understanding not as a critique of any particular approach, but as context. The financial infrastructure around symptomatic treatment of inflammation is enormous. Evidence-based alternatives that address underlying dietary causes receive a fraction of that research funding. A growing number of researchers and clinicians argue that the conventional focus on symptom suppression rather than root cause correction may be contributing to the high lifetime cost burden many patients carry. Studies published in journals, including the Journal of the American Medical Association and the British Medical Journal, have examined whether long-term NSAID use addresses the underlying inflammatory process or simply masks it. Understanding that distinction has real financial implications for you. So what is chronic inflammation and how does the research describe it? Acute inflammation is well understood and beneficial. When you injure yourself or encounter a pathogen, the immune system activates an inflammatory response to protect and repair the affected tissue. That's normal, healthy, and temporary. Chronic inflammation is different. It refers to a persistent, low-grade activation of the immune system, a state in which inflammatory compounds called cytokines remain elevated in the bloodstream over months or years. Research published in Nature Medicine describes chronic inflammation as a key driver underlying many of the most common modern diseases, including autoimmune conditions, cardiovascular disease, and type 2 diabetes. What causes this persistent state? Research increasingly points to 2 related factors: oxidative stress and diet. Oxidative stress is the term for an imbalance between free radicals that are unstable molecules that damage cells and the antioxidants available to neutralize them. Free radicals enter the body through food and from our environment, and are also produced by the liver as a byproduct of detoxification. When the load exceeds the body's antioxidant capacity, the result is chronic, low-grade cellular damage that the immune system responds to persistently with inflammation. This mechanism helps explain why symptoms as varied as gut pain, vascular issues, headaches, tinnitus, and skin reactions can share a common biochemical thread. The research on diet and inflammation is substantial and growing. One of the most significant and least discussed dietary contributors to oxidative stress is oxidized fats. This includes bottled cooking oils, even oils commonly considered health-promoting, such as olive, avocado, and coconut oil. When these oils are exposed to air, light, or heat, the polyunsaturated fat molecules undergo oxidation, producing lipid peroxides and other pro-inflammatory compounds. Research from the journal Food Chemistry has examined the rate of oxidation in bottled oils and found significant degradation occurs between production and consumption, before the oil even reaches a pan. High heat cooking accelerates this process dramatically. This doesn't mean all dietary fat is harmful. Whole food fat sources like avocados, nuts, and fatty fish behave very differently in the body than their extracted, bottled equivalents. A naturopathic approach to chronic inflammation typically begins here, by eliminating foods that create oxidative stress before adding any supplementation. Several practitioners in this field, including those focused on functional and integrative medicine, have developed structured dietary frameworks for this purpose. With that foundation in place, here are 5 interventions that the research supports for addressing chronic inflammation. Fix number 1: dietary elimination of high oxidative foods. The most foundational intervention, and the one with the broadest research support, is dietary. The easiest fix is reducing consumption of ultra-processed foods, refined seed oils, fried foods, and refined sugars. A 2019 study in the British Medical Journal followed over 100,000 participants and found a significant association between ultra-processed food consumption and elevated inflammatory markers. The effect was dose-dependent. The more ultra-processed food, the higher the inflammatory load. If you're looking for a structured starting point, there are several evidence-informed dietary frameworks available from integrative medicine practitioners that walk through the highest priority foods to address. These tend to align closely with the Mediterranean and whole food dietary patterns that have the most robust anti-inflammatory research behind them. Fix number 2, increasing ORAC intake through diet. ORAC, oxygen, radical absorbance capacity, is a measure of a food or supplement's ability to neutralize free radicals. High ORAC foods with strong research backing include blueberries, dark leafy greens, kidney beans, elderberries, artichokes, and spices including cinnamon and cloves. Beverages such as green tea and yerba mate also carry significant antioxidant activity. Green tea's EGCG compound has been studied extensively for its anti-inflammatory properties in peer-reviewed literature. The practical challenge is that consistent, adequate ORAC intake through diet alone requires intentional planning. Research suggests most Americans fall significantly short of optimal antioxidant intake. Fix number 3, high ORAC supplementation. For those looking to close the ORAC gap more efficiently, comprehensive antioxidant supplements can be a practical tool. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine by Youngevity is one example of a high ORAC multivitamin mineral supplement, delivering approximately 8,000 ORAC units per serving. It also provides a broad spectrum of vitamins and minerals that support overall metabolic function. Amazon link is in the description. As with all supplements, quality and bioavailability matter. Look for products with third-party testing and transparent ingredient sourcing. Fix number 4, turmeric and curcumin. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory agents in the literature. A 2017 meta-analysis published in Nutrients reviewed multiple randomized controlled trials and found that curcumin supplementation produced statistically significant reductions in CRP and IL-6, 2 primary inflammatory biomarkers used in clinical research. One important caveat: curcumin has low natural bioavailability. Research indicates that combining it with piperine, black pepper extract, increases absorption by up to 2,000%. When evaluating turmeric supplements, look for formulations that include piperine or consume turmeric with black pepper in food. Check video description for Amazon link. Fix number 5, omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 supplementation has one of the strongest evidence bases of any nutritional intervention for inflammation. The mechanism is well understood. Omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, compete with pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids for the same metabolic pathways, effectively shifting the body's inflammatory balance. A 2020 review in Frontiers in Physiology, analyzing results from multiple clinical trials, found that omega-3 supplementation produced significant reductions in inflammatory markers associated with chronic disease risk. The Western diet is significantly skewed toward omega-6 relative to omega-3. Researchers suggest the modern omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is often 15.1 or higher, versus a historically healthier ratio closer to 4:1. Correcting this imbalance by avoiding highly processed seed oils and fried foods, along with supplementation, is the best strategy. Youngevity's Ultimate EFA is an omega-3 formula available on Amazon, link in the description. Let's bring this back to the financial lens. Chronic inflammation, according to a growing body of peer-reviewed research, is not a genetic inevitability. It is, in many cases, a dietary outcome. And the interventions that address it at the root are not expensive. Eliminating high oxidative foods costs nothing. Prioritizing ORAC-dense whole foods is achievable on most budgets. A comprehensive antioxidant supplement, an evidence-backed curcumin formula, and a quality omega-3 together represent a fraction of the lifetime cost of symptom management through prescription pharmaceuticals. That's the wellness ROI framework. Look at the evidence, look at the cost, and make the decision that actually moves the needle on your long-term health and your long-term finances. Subscribe so you never miss a new video. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Stay healthy, stay wealthy. I'll see you next time.